All right, let's get this going, y'all. Let's get this mural finished. Let's do this, y'all. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I'm about to cook today. About to cook up some paint for this for the rest of this mural. Didn't do too bad over top of the blue. I'm liking that. We got some progress here, y'all. It's actually a kind of small mural at this point. Small mural. So I'm Perky's Pocket, and we're on like part 12, I think. I think it's part 12. If not, it's all good. But we've been grinding to get this finished. And we're like, I don't know, like 3 days, 4 days, 4 days away from finishing it. So that's what we're gonna work on. Yeah, that's what we're gonna work on. Yep. All right, so I have to do more painting for the interior of this establishment. Like here. I'm not sure if I can stand and do that. So I think I'm gonna use the catapult is what I keep calling it. And I'm gonna get up here and we're gonna paint this space in between until I can get the rest of it the color that I want to. It's like a little yellow on the up interior of this part, a little darker colors because it's a nighttime scene. So I'm just gonna darken this yellow interior and we're gonna add brown as well. So we're gonna work on the inside of this little diner, and that's what we're gonna spend our time doing. I appreciate you guys watching, and make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, tell your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to get some information based on like how to do murals, you can always hit me up. We can always confirm that it is always possible to do your best when it comes down to doing these murals. And I mean, you can ask locally if there's murals or just places that people might want some additive paint if you're interested in things like that. Just check your local restaurants, check your local businesses that start up, and somebody's always looking to get some fresh paint. So let's go ahead and get that started. I'm gonna get this brown. We're going. That's a brick. We'll get this brown paint. We need brown and yellow. Brown and yellow. So brown and yellow. 8 people. What's happening, y'all? Get a little bit of brown. A little bit of yellow. And we're just gonna darken this yellow. Let's go. So I think I'll start on the right hand side and then we'll work our way to the left. Let's go. No comments yet? 4 people. All right. I think I'm close enough. Wait, did I even turn on the computer? I didn't even turn on the computer today. It's cool. All right, so I wish I could lower this catapult, but that's not going to be the case. We're just going to spend some time. Um, damn, this thing is dirty. Yeah, we're just going to spend some time painting. Maybe I should put on some music. Maybe. All right, so most of this interior is like a darkish brown. So I got a little bit of yellow. I mean, a little bit of orange. Probably could have added the orange in here too. I'm gonna get the orange. Hold on. I'll just use both of those today. I really didn't turn on the music at all. We got a little bit of orange right here. And it's already hot too. It's already hot. Let's see what we got for music today. All right, let's see. What the? Where are you? Shit. There it is. Hey. I didn't ask you to. I didn't ask you to. I didn't. We're almost there. We're almost there. I got 99 steps. I'm making my way. I got 99 Oh, this tape is terrible. Blue tape, not for brick walls. And this acrylic paint, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not, it's not a workable color right there, bro. I mean, workable, yeah, that's not workable at all. So I think I've been, I don't know. I think I had a lot to think about this morning, and trying to take care of some new things in my life. And I was talking about, I was thinking about my parties that I throw, and I was like, I want to do more of that because I like the outcomes and stuff like that. So I've been throwing house parties, and one of my family members had called me, and we were talking about him making one of my house parties, and I was like, you know, it'd be a cool idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, come fly out. You know what I mean? So why am I sharing that? Because life is amazing. That's it. That's it. Life is amazing. I'm thinking about where I could take my you probably can't even see what I'm painting right now because it's not the same height. But on a real, like, I get to a point where my experiences for these parties are something broader than what I realize. Yeah. Anyway, so at my parties, I encourage people to draw and paint on the walls. And you know, I never experienced that before. So I was like, this is something new that I had an idea. I was like, yo, it'd be cool if people draw on the walls. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind. And after, you know, after 3 house parties, um, I want to continue that. Um, but I said something out loud, and I was like, well, if I do, you know, if I do all the way up until September house parties, you know, I'll have a good business model for this experience for myself. I never knew that if I started something like this, it'd be a genuine thing where I can continue to have, you know, same guests, new guests, different guests. Cause let me see, the first party we had, you know, it was like the first experience. Nobody knew that it existed. So I had to go out there and I had to tell people that this was available. And a lot of people are like, nah, you know, we don't do house parties, you know, because there's been situations and things that people can't, you know, they can't explain. And I was like, nah, it's not that type of party, you know what I mean? So the first experience was good. A lot of people missed it, but for all in all, it was more or less, I think this is a bench right there too. For all in all, I think it was an eye opener that, you know, you have to change people's minds about things. And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to change the idea that house parties were, you know, what they said they were before, but there's something different now. I think that's red though. I think the top of this is red. But yeah, I'm trying to configure how the rest of these house parties is gonna be. I'm hoping to do June do a house party, then July a house party, and then so my family and friends can join that next one too. But what I'm saying is that, like, if you think of something that you think is impossible, most likely it is impossible. But if you do something with the thought of it being something incredible, then that's what you're reaching for every single time. Yep. And I'm not gonna let nobody telling me anything else different. Like, oh, you can't have house parties because people come there and do weird stuff or mess things up, or you know what I'm saying. But I was like, I didn't have 3 of them, And oh yeah, there was definitely situations, but nothing to where I was like, we can't do this again. You know what I mean? Because right after, I'm telling, I'm telling my DJ, I'm like, we gotta do another one. He was like, all right, books, man. The next day, it was on social media, like, who ready for the next house party? And it just boomed from just like that. So yeah, and that's what I woke up thinking, like, we can do whatever we want in this world, man. I want to be that person that they talk about in a good way for these house parties. So, and I don't know who's listening right now, because if you don't know me, then you don't have a clue what I'm talking about. I'm just expressing something out loud. Yeah, this is pretty cool right here. Yep. So like I said, I'm doing the interior. I'm drawing or painting the interior of the the drive-in, um, the drive-in diner. Did I say, wait? Did I say diner or drive-in? Yeah, it's a drive-in diner though. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I put. This is yeah. And just like I said, I do the letters. I'm gonna spray over top of it again, and then make sure that the letters, because something happened. Like, I'm not sure if this. Yeah, I'm not sure if that looks correct up there, but yeah, I want to make sure that that's where we're at right there. It's just a memory, y'all. Um, Let me see. What's today? Wednesday. I think Thursday we'll probably be spending more time doing as many details, because I'm not actually painting like as many details. I'm just blocking the colors in, so I can go back and add dark values and highlights, whites and stuff like that. Because it's just a lot to paint all at once. I could spend 4 hours painting the car, and that's all I do. And I'm like, well, what about the rest of the? So I got to keep it moving. Yeah, I think I need some paper. Anyway, but thank you guys for joining us today. I think it was like 2 people, 4 people, 6 people, 8 people. But if you like what you see, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you come back for more, because I have tons of content. I have things that, I mean, I live stream at this point. I stopped making and editing videos for whatever reason. So most of my content is live stream content. Yo, this paint is crazy. Shoot, type I want. So these are the speakers that I'm painting on the building. So I'm just blocking in the colors. There's a lot of stuff that I got to do for this. A lot of colors. Yeah, yeah. This brush is heavy with paint right now. So. Yo, I really want straighter lines in this, man. Fuck. Wow, just painting 2 boxes is freaking ridiculous right now. Might have to get another paintbrush too. You said, is your painting inspired by Hopper's 1942 painting Nighthawks? Yes, it is. You said layer by layer player. Let's go. What's up? Omizu, BMI, Rain. What's happening? How y'all doing today? Yeah, it's definitely inspired by whatever you just said, Brian. Absolutely, man. Dondrell, how you doing today, man? Just want to get another paintbrush because clean this one off real quick. It's like peanut butter on this. What's going on with y'all today? Everybody up early. Everybody up early today. paintbrush is straight right there, bro. Clean the paintbrush off, man. It'll make a huge difference. Gotta clean that shit off. Ah! Speaking of cleaning shit off, so glad I cleaned that shit off my paintbrush. Let me see. I was on Instagram this morning. Oh man, Instagram is something else, man. It's like a plethora of intelligent people and a plethora of stuff that I just don't want to hear. I was like, damn, man, I really got to filter this stuff out, because just like I said, I'm using this platform because these are where my contacts are. Like, I have contacts in my phone, you know. I have contacts in my phone, but most of my contacts is on Instagram. And I was like, wow, well, that's what I'm trying not to kick the. Yeah, I can put my feet there. Okay. Yeah, like I don't mind it. Like it's a different thing. Like I got family and friends on my, you know, inside my phone, and then everybody else involves. Anybody want to message me, they'll just go out there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody will really call me. I thought that was crazy, man. And then I realized that that's like, as far as technology, that I said that's where we're gonna be at, and that's where we're gonna stay at forever at this point. I'm not saying Instagram, but we're gonna stay on these apps, and that's where everything is gonna go from here on out. And if they close the app down, all those people that you said you had contacts with, that's it, man. And I didn't realize how deep that is, because that's a form of control, right? Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I really have to appreciate and value all of the years that I got to experience life through, you know, my cell phone, my contacts and stuff like that. Like, they're talking about how money is going to change and everything will be digital. We won't have cash, because most of the places are talking about, oh, we don't do cash. You're going to have to bring your digital phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, trippy, man. Some trippy stuff right now. And AI, and like, I don't mind it being something different. Just don't bogart us and then be like, oh, well, if you don't like it, don't use it. Because I guess that's what the reality is. I guess I'm at that point in time where that's where I have to function. Yep. That's where I have to function from here on out. It's wild, man. And somebody said that this might be the end of times, and I was like, I don't know about that. There's still plenty of people that want to live, so they'll do whatever it takes to keep us going, but it's all about control you have over these applications and food and water and things like that. And so like the smartest thing is you don't have to be a part of it, but you gotta make sure that whatever you say you're not gonna do, you gotta add that to your life and make that available, because you're gonna miss out on something that you desperately need, but you didn't prepare for. And that's the value of what we're carrying today, like information. There's so much valuable information out there. You just got to sift through all of the BS that they're, and I say they, I'm just saying us as a general, us, like how they scheme and use us against each other in order to make things, make it seem real, or it needs to be, or something, something, something. So I'm paying attention to a lot of that stuff on Instagram, because it's a main, what's the word? I think that box is different. That one's right there. Boxes. Oh, you know what? I didn't paint it like that. Okay. That shit is red too. Hmm. Yeah, that's what I thought of today. Like I said, I really do. I enjoy Instagram, because I can go up there and watch somebody do something really cool, for like 20 seconds and then move the hell on. Or I can save the video and be like, you know what, I'm gonna come back and watch that. Sometimes I don't go back and watch any of my videos. I just save a bunch of stuff and be like, yeah, this is awesome. Let me save that in. And it just goes into the cloud, basically. And that's where it's gonna stay at until I reach back and be like, you know what, I thought there was a video that had some good information, and I'll go back. Or it was something funny and I'll go back and I'll watch it, et cetera, et cetera. But Um, like I'm saying this because I don't want to get left behind thinking that there's one way of doing it and this is the way, because it's not. There's tons of millions and billions. Like I can make my own app right now if I wanted to. I can make my own app that decides what colors we should use to paint. Just point blank, just something simple, and you know, and that'll be the next generation of how we, overall use our time. No, real stuff, like real stuff. And I think about things like that. I think I've always been a creator and inventor. I remember when apps first became something, I had this friend who said that he was developing an app. And I was like, oh, you talking about an application on the phone? He was like, yeah. And so he was developing, and I was watching him, break through something that he never knew how to do, but he did it. And it's a part of this reality at this point. And I was like, damn, it functions just like that. And it's pretty, pretty incredible. Um, it really is. It's some incredible stuff that we can involve ourselves into and become just as good or better. And I saw it happen in real time. That's crazy to think about. I just said that too. That's crazy to think about. There was a point in time there was no applications on your phone. Like, damn, that's crazy, man. Like at some point in time, there was no applications on our phone. Yeah, that's some craziness. I think most of this is all red too. I'm looking at the colors, but I'm not identifying what's. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need the projector too, and a straight ruler. Something is playing on my desktop, and I'm not really sure what it is. I don't know what that is. With my thought process, let me move down here real quick. But I'm just gonna paint up and still around, because there's so many colors. Duke. Colors, colors, colors. What is playing right now? Because that does not sound like my. That does not sound like my music. It does not sound like the music. It's like somebody's slapping something together. really wish I could share what I be talking about on my phone. No, man. I'm sorry. I had a really great night. It's interesting because I opened up, which is interesting because sometimes I don't have like full blown conversations with people. I just have like, oh hey, how you doing type stuff. You know, somebody will hit me up or whatever, and it'd be like the driest conversation, and I'm like, is it me? Like, am I the dry person? It could be, and it's all possible because sometimes I don't carry conversations the same exact way as everybody else. So I'm working on that. And so somebody was telling me how they felt about me, and I was like, oh, for real? Like that's how you feel? And I was like, yeah. And then they just opened up, and I was like, oh shit! Like if I'd have known this before, like, you know what I'm saying, it'd have been something different. I can't go into details, but I just thought it was interesting. Like people tell you stuff real late as hell. I'm like, why you ain't say something earlier? And most of the time, it's like people are not aware of what your energy or what you think, and so they just be waiting, and they gonna wait, and they gonna wait, and they gonna wait, and they gonna wait, and they gonna wait forever because they don't think it's the same, you know. So I was like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna start doing. Everybody that I come into contact with, I'm gonna be as upfront as possible with everything, my intentions, my purity. Like if I want money from you, that's what I'm coming for. You know what I'm saying? If I want a relationship, if I want to take you somewhere, if I think we should go do something, I think that like this is how I feel about it, I'm just gonna say it out loud instead of holding it in, thinking that people don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do forever. Because I said in order for me to grow, I have to do these things that make sense. And if it makes sense, that's what I'm about to do. Because I'm holding on to things that people want to hear. Like I lost two family members in the same month. And so these conversations that I could have had with, you know, my family members, I never got to it because we didn't vibe on the same, we didn't have the same interests. Like, they could have been, older or whatever the case was, and we just didn't. But I was like, I miss those things, and because it's gone, I'll never get that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that anymore. So all of the contacts in my phone, if we don't contact with each other, I'm gonna have to figure out how we're gonna either be something from the start or be nothing. And that's how we're gonna do it, because I can't afford to lose people that I really want to have and develop relationships with on the regular. And come to find out, like, we could have had something if I'd have just said something out loud. And I don't realize that until, not till it's too late, but just be holding on for too long, because not everybody, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody is always outgoing as we think they are. Some people are shy. Some people have other things that are, you know, in their mind, and that's what they believe. And so, in order for me to be the biggest and the greatest and whoever I say that I am, I got to start reaching out. Like, I know tons of people who are celebrities at this point, and that's just what it is. I know people who are in the limelight. I know them people. And I was like, you know what? If you don't get something from these people, they're going to drift into thinking that you're not interested in, not because they're famous, just because you're not interested in them as a friend or associate, or, you know. And I said, that's what I'm going to start doing. So all the people on my phone, I'm about to hit them up and be like, look, if you're in my phone and you want something, or we can do something together, or we can build something, let's do that right now. Because all of those people on my phone, like, are wasting my space in my phone. Like, Google about to take my whole entire phone, because I have Samsung. They about to take my whole entire messages from me and put it on the cloud or whatever the hell they claim that they're doing. And I was like, well, if that's how they're doing it, I have to make sure that I'm using the application, I'm using it the best way that I can, before they decide, well, we're just gonna take something because you're not using it. And I thought about it just like that. Like, all the cash I got in my pocket, at some point in time, it'll just be all digital currency. Why you don't just spend your money? Why don't you just save it? Why don't you put it into something that would be meaningful? And I don't. I just hold on to it thinking that, you know, this is the way to do it. Because I grew up where they was like, you know, you got to save. Just save your money. Whatever you're going to do is just save your money, because there's going to be bad times and stuff like that. So I grew up on a mindset that doesn't exist anymore. I held on to things that don't exist anymore. And I have to move myself away from things like that, because it's hindering me from being who I say that I really want, and in this point in time. And I have to get away from that because I lost, I'm pretty sure, a bunch of people in my contacts that I could have built great relationships with, but I didn't say nothing first. I don't know what the hell other people are thinking, and I really don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I care what I'm doing, but what do I get out of holding these people hostage in my phone? You know what I'm saying? What do I get? Nothing. Like, you either do artwork, we're gonna be friends, and we're gonna hang out often. Like, I'm gonna get something from it instead of you just lingering it. So I text, I text a few people this morning. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm texting people like, yo, you're in my phone. Like, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I get from you at this point? Like, what are you doing right now? Because I need your attention. You know what I'm saying? Something to carry and start something. Because just like I said, if I ain't heard from you in a month and a busy, it's just because I don't ask you what I can get from you at that time. Not being like the opportunist that I could be, like I should just be an opportunist. You're lingering in my phone, like, and I'm talking about for both parties, because today is only today. And if you get mad because I text you yesterday and the day before and all that stuff, then we don't need to do anything with each other. We don't need to build anything because I'm not as important as I thought I was. You feel me? And some people are like, oh, well, that's just the way of life. No, forget that. That's somebody else's old made up story, bro. I'm following my own story. That's what I'm doing. I'm following my own directive and my own narratives on how things should be, what I say they should be. And like I said, I don't want to wait until it's too late and be like, dang, I really could have. It's too late. It's too late. And I can't hold on to regrets like that. Like, how many people have called somebody in their phone just to be like, yo, I'm bored. Let's go create something. Let's go do something somewhere. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go bowling or something. Just random. And it just got to be like a one-time event. It ain't got to be every day. But the structure of it is like, there's always something to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. Like, I stay busy as hell collecting money and, you know what I'm saying, like taking care of business on this end and stuff like that. But really, I don't make enough time for the people who say that they, are just as valuable. I just don't. And that's crazy to think about it. But that's what it is, man. Like I said, I lost 2 family members that I never really talked to. Never really had those conversations. So the rest of the people that are on my phone, I feel like I could gain value, or they could gain value from this conversation, because there's no guarantee that any of us will be here forever. There's no guarantee at all. We could be here forever. We could just be trapped here forever. And then what you gonna do? You didn't build anything when you started, so now you got to work from the bottom, trying to make something that you thought, wasn't there, or whatever the case is. But just like I said, I have way too many people on my phone, and we don't conversate. And I'm just not even gonna lie. I'm just gonna be upfront with it, because like, I don't know. I was about to say something negative, but like, I just don't care. Like, I just don't care enough sometimes. And somebody hit me up and they were like, yeah, they want some studio time. And I was like, I just don't have time right now to be in the studio. I just don't. Like, me charging, because somebody was like, well, somebody else charged them $25. And this is what the reality is. Somebody charged them $25 to make one song. I never heard that before. I couldn't even fathom, why would I spend 2-3 hours for 25 minutes, or $25, income. Like, that's not. I was like, no, I'm not. No, that's not what I want. I'm charging this, and if this is what you can afford, that's what we're gonna do. But I think all of those ideas led into me like, well, you know what? If it's that serious, then shit, you might as well just do it for free. What's the point of charging anybody if it's gonna be not worth my time? But that's what they were saying, that other people were charging them. And I was like, I guess it must be thousands and thousands of us as producers out here. And that's the reason why they got, what they got set up with. And I was like, I'm not answering the phone for nobody for no $25. And I thought of it, and I was like, you know what? Let them in your phone then. You feel me? Like that's just what I thought of. And this is just one aspect of, collecting. So yeah, I could have been like, yeah, I'm gonna collect this $25 and next person, and we're building on that top. But at the end of the day, I wasn't structuring. I'm not structuring my relationship with these people. Just build a relationship with them first, and then figure out what, what will be when it says it will be. Yo, these freaking lines are pissing me off how not straight they are. And I'm trying so hard because I already put everything in black. And I'm trying to make these lines straight. And this is craziness. But anyway, so yeah, so like I have situations like that. And sometimes I just don't know how to handle it. So I don't answer them. Yep. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to charge you $75 and we'll make one song. And they're like, I can't afford that. And I'm like, I just lost on a relationship, at that point, because I'm being myself, I'm being what I told myself that I was going to do. But like I said, you're hanging in my phone and, we're not getting anything done. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, I am a very productive person. I'm never going to be a very productive person. So every day is something, that I need to get done. Like I have two flights next month I have to take, and busy. Like being here is crazy because I think towards the summer I probably won't even be home because I have other things that are required for me to actively do, and I may not even have time for anybody in my phone. So I have to reconsider all of the things that I'm doing, if it's healthy or not, because all that stuff will change in a heartbeat. Yep. And just like I said, I'm either going to do something with it or not, because the internet is different. I think most people spend their time looking through things or looking for things, and it's not in other people. That's just me. Because like I said, I invite people over every single day. Like, you want to come through? Like, I'm about to make a song. I have shoes I want to, like sometimes we're not just sitting, kicking it on a couch or whatever. I'm trying to build something so I can have something available for tomorrow. That's usually how I see it. And I don't think I'm wrong for that. I just have to initiate something different for the ones that I say I care and the things that I'm interested in. Yeah. Anybody ever thought about that? It's just like I said. I mean, it's just me maybe because I thought about it and I was like, damn, there's things that I'm not really doing with any of these contacts or people and stuff like that. And just like I said, I hit somebody up and they were like, yo, I didn't even know it was like that. And I was like, you're right, because I never said nothing and nobody else ever said anything. So now nobody knows what it's supposed to be like because nobody ever communicates. And I swear, I think I'm a good communicator. Like when we have first time conversation, next time, I'm really good at communicating. I like to talk. I enjoy listening to, my incredible words and blah, 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 blah. But I think I need black too. But yeah, because I hit somebody up. I'm not going to say who they are, but I hit them up and they busier than I am. So I was like, well, why the hell you're still in my phone contacts if you don't never answer my phone calls? Like, what's up with that? Like, what are we doing? Am I wasting my time? And then I'll be like, you know what? They're just busy, and I just let it be. I don't even come back to them. If they don't answer me, I don't even come back to them. And I was like, well, maybe it's me because I'm not that, we can start the conversation. Because once again, like this is all about me. It's not all about everybody else. It's all about me. If that makes sense, right? It's all about me and how I see and perceive things. So I'm going to go and get what I say that I want out of it. Because that's what everybody else doing, right? figuring out how they gonna get something out of the, you know, and once they got it, that's it. They not coming back. Nope. Let me put yellow in here too. Let me see what this yellow do. Let me see what this yellow do. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what happened to my music. It sounds like there's a video playing, but honestly, I don't know what video is playing right now. And if I turn off the lights and there's something going crazy right now, I'm going to be very embarrassed because I'm like, why is there something playing that I didn't put up there? I can hear something. I can, and it's slapping. It's slapping hard right now in my ear. You can't hear it, but I can hear it. Yeah. And I'm like, maybe it's coming from outside. Oh, it sounds like some cheeks. Yeah, it sounds like some cheeks. Nah, it's probably outside. It's like yellow. All right, hold on 1 second. Yeah, that has to be way darker than that too. Okay, so I did that one, that one. I'm gonna do this little tiny piece here. I'm gonna get down and find out why my music is playing some other video. Sound like some cheeks is clapping back there. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I always go to the most extreme when I don't understand what the heck is happening. I don't know why I do that, but it's fun. It's a fun experience in my brain sometimes. I shouldn't have painted that dark. I mean that light. So I blocked in all of those colors at the top. Like I said, I need to go back in here and find out what colors I need. I think it's red. Orange is a good color, but I think it's red that. Whew. And no, nothing's playing. Nothing is playing. I want some other songs to play, but I don't have internet here in this building. Yeah. We're almost finished though, y'all. She's asking how you pre-order your day because I'm having my way. Because I'm having my way. Because I'm having my way. No stopping, so get the fuck out the way. I just driving home guests. Dang, I went from hold on. I went from 3 people watching to 0 people because I turned on the music, huh? Is that what? Oh yeah, they're out there. I mean, we're sitting in silence. I don't care. The music is nothing for me if I am not enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're like, dang, you got down, bro. We don't want to be here no more. Like I said, I'm really trying to figure out if I honestly want to be on YouTube right now. And it really makes me mad because I'm like, I don't understand what the heck I'm doing right and wrong. And then when somebody else tell me, oh, there's something wrong, I'm like, you're right, but I don't know how to fix it. So I'm just going to leave YouTube the hell alone because That's too much red. I added too much red. Sounds like I'm complaining, but I've been up here for way too long. Way too long to get nothing. Nothing. I think I'm gonna move this. Way too long. Way too long. But then again, I mean, I am sitting doing everything from behind. So if I can put this up a little higher. Oh shoot. You said I'm listening to your main. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Um, like I said, I could talk to myself all day, man, but sometimes I'm like, where the hell is all of the other people? Wait, I did text somebody too. Hold on. Make sure. Nah, probably at work right now. Ugh. So let me see. What else do I have? Because a lot of this stuff is just on my brain, man. I'm just a brain person. Somebody's like, yeah, man, you overthink stuff. And I'm like, how the hell do I control that? Tell me, how do I control overthinking? I'm like, I'm one thing, but I can't be another thing without understanding how to not be that, or to transition, excuse me, into being something else. I don't know how to do that. So, yeah. So how the heck do I do stuff like that? How do I do that? How do I do that? So there's a chair. There are chairs here, and I'm getting paint all over my phone again. Let me see, what else do I have going on in life at this point? I was talking about the house parties. Yeah, that's the main thing at this point is me. Um, Actually, the car could get this color too. Okay, I'm gonna go back and remember. The top of the car can get. Oh, it's like paint. It's like. I like that color though. Hmm. Hmm. Let me see. What else? What else? What else? Let me see. So okay. So I want to Airbnb my house. So I talked with my cousin last night, and no one objected to it, obviously. And I was like, well, it's interesting because I've never done this before, and I'm interested because, well, I mean, obviously, I just need to go on the internet and find out how everybody else did it, and see if I can mock that and become, just that. So the experience is going out there and doing it, and I'm ready for it. Like whatever that's gonna to bring positive or extra cash and building wealth. That's what I'm looking to do at this point because I spent tons of working for people. I've done, I don't say 1,000 commissions, but I've done a lot of commission work. Um, and at this point, like I'm looking to get the benefit of, just that. What do they call like? It's like air money. It's like money out of the air. You know what I'm saying? Because people are willing to pay whatever you're asking for something that they say they need, like right now. You know, and I told myself I was going to make something that people would desire, and I would have to figure out how to do that. So I said I'm gonna buy a house, easy, just easy. And then they were like, oh well, you can't Airbnb your house until a year, right? And so I was like, all right, well. that's cool. I'll just live in it. And before I know it, I'm like hosting parties. I'm like, this is how we gonna do it, because I got this big house in a good neighborhood, you know. And so once the neighborhood had a grocery store, like a real upscale grocery store, I was like, oh yeah, people gonna start building stuff. So now they're building another house on this corner, and where I'm at. And I was like, this is really cool. It's not on my corner, but it's on one of the corners, and I can watch them building every day. And I was interested in doing the Airbnb, but then I was like, you know what? Forget Airbnb. I mean, not forget Airbnb, but like, if these people are building, I was like, why don't I just buy some property, hold it until everybody start willing to pay. Because I have a lot. I have a lot of opportunity to purchase the property that is not built on behind my property. And I was like, oh shoot, like I could be first dibs, talk to the city and see how much this property is going to go for, where. And but that's something like finances and stuff like that, because I said I don't know if I want to do venues and shows. I don't want to do stuff like that forever. Like, I've been doing it for a long time. I said it brings in income, but I want something that's more fluid. Like, if I already did it, like, I'm not trying to go back and redo it and do it this way different and do it this. Like, I just want something that's stable, so I understand that this is what takes in order for me to get there. Because like, I want to be like rich and successful. You know what I'm saying? Though not, you get what I'm saying though. But I want that success to be in the riches that I bring, to um, to the things that I started. Like, I always thought about royalties. I always thought about like my finances being in this idea, and money goes. You know what I'm saying? It goes in such big chunks. Um, and I hear all the time that people are complaining because they're like, yeah, I rent out places, and it's a hassle to keep up, blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't want to do that forever. I'm not going to be somebody I got to clean up after somebody, because that's not what I want to do. I don't mind it at the house during house parties and stuff, but I have to figure this out. And nobody I know, I'm not saying that I know a couple people, but nobody I know is doing what I'm doing. So it's harder for me to be like, yeah, I'm throwing parties. Like, how could I turn this into a multi-million-dollar company? How could I turn just the thought of actions into something that gives me in longevity? And nobody knows how to do that. I know that. So what am I going to do? I have to go out there, either do it. I can talk to the city and figure out how other people scheduled and did stuff like that in order to make something that I never knew was possible for myself. Because I really want to own property. I don't know what everybody else want to do, and if they don't want to own property and they want to do it that way, then that's the way they're going to do it. But I have a whole thought process of how, and like I said, some other family members don't know how to do stuff like that. So it's harder for me to go and be like, oh, let me talk to this person because they did it. So actually, I'm starting something that everybody else will come and ask me, how did you do that? How did you get that started? And then I am the one who has the answer. I'm not a gatekeeper. I just had the answer on how I got in there and how I made it work. So that's what I'm thinking of. Because like the mural thing was fun. It's a fun experience. I got, I'm gonna get a challenge like right up front. But I don't want to work this hard. I don't care who you are. Nobody want to work this hard to get a check. They want it to come a little easier. And I said, I already got the property, so why not just do it that way? So I have to learn what it would take for me, to establish an Airbnb and make it, So the other thing is, okay, so I'm just giving my little secret. They say don't tell everything, but I said I'm hosting parties, right? I'm hosting these events. I'm a host, right? And so I was like, when I'm not hosting parties, I'm hosting Airbnbs. And I said that's the best way for me to look at it, because I have the opportunity. I had the thought, so I'm gonna do that as the thought becomes a reality. And I do this all the time. Like, You know, I get what I want because I asked the universe to help me see it. Like, and it helped me feel what it felt like to navigate that day, and it comes quicker. You know, it'll provide it way quicker than I thought because, you know, I thought about it. You know, because I thought about it, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. And just like I said, I wish I could ask more people like how they did it, but I might have to go to some like forums or something like that and ask questions and wait and blah 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 lines because I still got time. I have until September, um, you know, to get it right, if that makes sense. To just get it right. Nope, there's somebody texting me right now. That must have been the person that I texted this morning. Let's go. Yeah, so you know, like I said, I've done these shows for quite a while, and matter of fact, I did 4 venues this year. I'm like, it's cool, but I don't want to do that forever. It's energy. It's hot. I mean, I remember it being like extremely hot. The last time I did a venue, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to sit outside in no heat trying to sell some whatever. Like, it's fun selling food and all that. I'm like, man, it's too damn hot for this stuff. Like, my life and my thought process is totally different from other people. Other people like to put that, but I was like, I've been doing this since I got out of college, trying to figure out how to hustle, you know, my way through, you know, keeping the lights on. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I was like, I don't want to do that no more. I don't have to, because I don't have to. So I was like, the Airbnb will be the best way that I can establish something that is easy. Nobody even needs to know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to shake their hand on none of that shit at all. And my artwork, I don't even know what to do with my artwork at this point because I need to sell all of it because the next place that I'm going to, you know, it's either gonna have all my artwork on the wall or I'm gonna put all my artwork in storage. I have to figure out how to do that as well. So I might have to do a solo show, and the solo show has to be like, yo, all this stuff's got to go. So during the weekends, I do driveway art sales, and the neighborhood that I live in is not established enough for me to sell my artwork for $400 a piece. It's just not. The last time I did one, somebody offered me $25 for painted a couple days. I spent like a couple days like just making that thing real, and somebody offered me $25. It's like, no, this is what I can. This is what I'm like, nah, bro. So I was like, oh, we're gonna have to do a we have to do a show. We have to set up another show in order to make that real because people don't understand the process and what it costs and what it takes, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But these are all my thoughts. Thank you. Thanks for joining me, y'all. My thoughts. Hold on, I'm about to get down because and I want to make sure. Sorry, I'm doing detailed colors on this because there's a red bench inside the window, and I'm trying to get that color. I'm doing details right now, so sorry. You can't see it, but I'm gonna stop doing details because I don't need to do details. I just saw it was red, and I was like, I'm gonna make the bench, and that's what I did. The bench. Oof, oof. You said, oh, you said I'm listening. Okay, awesome. I'm so awesome. I'm so awesome. Matter of fact, no, I won't have time to do the bottom because the bottom, all of this is like a reflection from the light above. And I was like, I can just paint this right now, but because my cheeks is hurting sitting up there. And I was like, wait. we're gonna do this because just cause it's really bothering me. That edge is really like cutting into my veins and my arteries. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Oh man. Let me see what else. What else is on my brain? What else do I want to do this year? Oh, Japan. Japan is the place that I want to go. And just like I said, I don't know anybody else who has any of these ideas like I do. Like, you know, I got immediate brothers and sisters and stuff like that. Not one of them's ever said, oh, I want to travel to a different country. I'm the only one. I'm the only one that said they ever wanted to travel outside of the country. And so that's what I did. As soon as I got my ticket, I was like, yeah, I'm going. Yep. I'll see y'all when I get back. And everybody's like, yeah, how did it go? I was like, well, you should have been there. I'm just playing. I was like, no, it was an awesome experience. And I was like, I want to go and travel more. I want to do whatever that is. I want to do more of that. And yeah, I want to go to Japan. I want to eat their food. You know, I want to talk their language. I want to go see sumo because I really enjoy sumo wrestling. And I know they like cats in China and Japan. And I was like, I want to see where and how far I can take my artistry, you know what I'm saying, in these different countries. I want to see what they talking about. Like if they really talking about, and I think I got to make a straight line for this one. And so that's what, that's what I said I wanted to do. It sucks because I don't have nobody else to go with me. And at the end of the day, it was like, well, you don't need anybody to go with you. Fair, right? You don't need anybody to go with you. And I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do in order to get what I say I want. Because I'm not sure if my partner is going to take that trip. You know, because just like I said, not everybody think the same as I do. And you know, maybe if I just bought the ticket, but I'm like, I don't want to do stuff like, you know, just because I want to do it and I gotta. It's so weird, man. I'm just gonna say it's like a weird feeling, like, you know, not everybody want to take the same journey, and I was like, I get that. Not everybody want to be a part of painting, you know. Not everybody wants to. So I find myself doing stuff alone because that's what it is. And I think it's been like that since forever. Forever. It's a little darker. Yep. So I'm gonna go to Japan. I'm gonna book my flight. I think I'm gonna go. Let's see. Oh, let me see. It's January, February, March. I want to go whenever their seasons are not crazy, like with their weather and stuff. Because flying is ridiculous. So I'm gonna pinpoint exactly, but this is really way more darker. I think there's black in here too. It's like red and brown. Yeah. So I want to do that. I want to book my flight and go to Japan by myself. Yep. Yep. That's what I'm gonna do. And maybe I'll find a new partner in Japan and just never come back home. Haha, get a one-way ticket, you know what I'm saying? Just all right, well, I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't coming back home. For what? America's great for some people. You know what I mean? That's what they keep saying. Oh yeah, America's great. For those who have it, who can afford it, it's great for them. So, like I said, I want to take those opportunities to do myself some greatness. I think this one is way darker. Like, I think I need black. Maybe that's what's messing with mine. It's red in there, but it's brown. But it's like real dark. Maybe I just add red, and then I'm trying to match the color as best as possible. Yep, that's what I said I wanted to do this year. And maybe just, I don't know, maybe I'll vlog it. Maybe that'll be something that I'll add to my channel or not. But I was like, I'm gonna figure it out when I get there. Because I was noticing that nobody's recording at these sumo wrestling events. So I'm like, me streaming it from there is probably not the same as, not the same as, we would do in the US, like just streaming everything nonstop. Like you're not even paying attention to how much fun it is. You're just streaming, you know? And yeah, yep, 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 yep. But that's what I want to do. I want to go to Japan, eat their food. So I want to do some sumo wrestling events when the season's up, because it's like every other month that they have competitions. So I could probably catch one whenever. However, I just need to book it, and yep, just get there. Just get there. I don't even know how long the flight is either. That's something I probably got to check too. I'm cool with flying. I've flown I've flown pretty much all my adult life. We'll just say it like that. So, um, yep, sure did. So that is. It's really red in here though. Maybe I'll just add the brown over top of it and see what it looks like too. It's a little bloody, man. A little bloody drive-in here. A little drive-in spot. Oh man, don't do that. Let me see what else is on my mind. What else is on my mind? Yeah, this been an interesting ass year. Um, like I said, I thought I was gonna get like my monetization ASAP, Rocky, but I don't know. Maybe YouTube's just not for me. Maybe I'm performing acts that people just don't. You know. Now that's a straight ass line. Ooh, that's a straight line right there. Yeah, that's a straight line right there. So that's crazy because the tape worked over top of the white, but once the paint is there, like if the paint is not as flush, it seems like if the paint is too thick, is what I'm saying. Like, because I think this is too thick, and if I put the tape over top of this, it's just gonna rip it off like a little band-aid. And it did the same thing. It did the same thing with this red too. Like I said, most of this is yellow, so we're figuring. Yeah, we're figuring it out. It's 11:14. I said I don't really have a schedule for today either. That's brown. And I think I need to get down and get some more. This one's brown here, and it has green. So I have to tape off all of those to get that color. So I'm gonna get down for a second. And actually, I'm glad I put this pillow up here because now I stopped realizing how much pain I was. It was just the edge of that on my legs because it's like a I don't know what you call that. Hmm. Two people. How we doing, two people? I said I need brown and need brown town. What is this? It's like acrylic. Yo, I swear that's the straightest line. I'm probably gonna be so proud of myself at the end of this because that line is unfreaking believable. Because all the rest of the lines was like, we don't care. All right, so there's like that green in there. Let me see. I do one thing at a time. I could do the background and then paint the green. Do I need to do? Do I need to wash off the brush? Let me get tape. I'm just contemplating, y'all. Ugh. I don't know. I guess that's it. I guess I'll just be quiet for the next 45 minutes because there's nothing else in my brain. There's nothing else that's calling my name. Oh, I gotta move over. And I guess if I'm all the way up here and I can't read the messages. Sorry. And even at that point, like I still figured like I was like a stand. I got two phones. I was like, man, I'm gonna be the greatest streamer. I'm gonna stream every single day, and I'm gonna have like thousands of followers. And I'm like, nah, none of that stuff exists, bro. Your content is not what you know these other people are putting out. So if you're not making it extraordinary, it's really hard for you to get that momentum. And I don't stream every single day, like other people do. So kind of missing something, you know. So we're gonna paint that. Actually, we'll just paint that brown. What else is there? Oh shit. Oh, it's above the car. Okay, okay, okay. So this green, there's a green line right here. Is that what I'm doing? I'm making a green line, making a brown. Ah, this is all brown from here. Oh, that's straight too. This is all yellow from here. And then underneath the, how did I get that wrong? Uh, uh, uh. Okay. Wait, is it top or bottom? I think we'll go bottom. We'll do this. I don't know where that line's at. I should have just used the projector, but oh well. Of course, this is not long enough. Mm-hmm. No, this brown is really dark. That's what I meant to get. I should have got black, and then I could have ran. Get this line too. Let me see. Something that inspires me. All right, so I'm just gonna ask myself questions then. How about that? I'm gonna see what that I can get the answer to. Because once again, the universe or my subconscious or whatever that is still always listening. I'm gonna see. Because if nobody else will ask me self questions and see where I get to with those answers. It's not long enough. What am I inspired by? I think I'm inspired by people that look like me. I believe that. I've seen a lot of things happen in my experiences. And so I'm inspired by people that look like me, regardless if we don't do the same things. But that energy of in which, yeah, that we all hold is identical. So I'm inspired by people that look like me because I'm proud of them for going the distance. No. I'll put black on here. Let me see another question. Oh, nobody's here. What's another goal? Let me see. What? No, I already said goals and stuff already. Guys, let me see. I already said that. What else do we have? Oh, do I plan on doing another mural? I talked to somebody yesterday. There's this guy who owns like a bunch of stores, and I had asked him before, and he was like, he was like, no, because I guess he looked on my Instagram and didn't see that I was doing murals or anything like that. But I showed him what I was doing right now, and he was like, "Oh, I'll talk to my father about it." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So what he said they have this wall and they have this wall, and he said, "Well, how much you charge?" And I was like, "I would charge him." I said $2,000, but I ain't about to do two walls for $2,000. That's not even, that don't make no sense. Those are two different. But I had told him that I would be willing if he offered $2,000 to start. That's what we work. I work on the first one, we get and figure out how long it would take, and then progress. But yes, I would definitely want to do another mural for sure. So that's possible. I have the whole summer to do whatever it is that I feel like, um, to build up this momentum. Because trust me, it's, if people don't know your name, it's harder for them to be like, yo, we can do business with you, or we'll buy into whatever you're doing, because there's no name to it. So that's why I'm doing as many things to hold, like, oh yeah, I heard of you. Yeah, you're Perky's, right? Perky's Pocket. Yeah, I heard you do murals or house parties or whatever the heck, you know, the first thing is they hear about me. And so yeah, that's what I said I wanted to do. I want to do more murals so I can get my name out there. I said, because everybody got to figure it out. If it's not going to be through my music, I said I have to do something at the city or, the local finds, and then boom, I can get started. I can get started that way. So, yeah. Let me see what else. Well, this brown is not really brown though. What should I add to this? Or this is like a really dark brown because it turned gray. Should I add red? Hmm. I'll make it dark, but I don't want it to make it. So you add red to it, it'll make it darker. And that's what it's doing. Let me see. What else? What else? What else? So once again, these I guess for my future existence, or I don't know, maybe one of my sons will like watching my videos eventually or something. And they'll just go back and listen to me talk. I don't know, 2, 3 hours. Like I would get bored of listening to myself too at this point. So, and I thought it was interesting because I used to watch my videos because I was really proud of myself that you know, I took the opportunity, because some people are scared. They're like, oh man, I don't like the sound of my voice. And, so they won't live stream, or they won't, put themselves in because they're afraid of, um, they're just afraid. So this is like right here. I think I'm gonna need another piece of tape. And so yeah, it's like right on the edge right here. Um Myself, because I started something that I didn't know I could do. And not saying live streaming just in general, but like promoting myself to do something that other people are fearful of. Putting out music. It doesn't matter how I did it, and that's what I stand on. You feel me? That's what the heck I'm standing on. Let me see what else. I guess this is 21 questions. I wish I had my yeah. Oh, that's a huge little gap in there. I got the fan on, but it's not blowing none of this paint away from my face. Let's see, what else? Oh, will I paint forever? Will I do the Andy Warhol? Will I paint forever? And the answer is yes. I will continue to paint until there is no other. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Yep, I feel confident in that. It's like it's my superpower, or one of my superpowers. Yep, that's what I'm gonna continue to do. Oh, and somebody had, because like when people come to my house and they see the cats, I don't want people to think that I'm like this psychopath or something. Like, why do you have all these cat pictures on your wall? Not like pictures of cats, but you get what I'm saying. Like I paint, and so they turn into cats. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna paint cats forever. I think that my niche will evolve into other things, and that's what I'll be known for as well. Because it's interesting. Like somebody's like, "Well, why don't you have cats?" And I was like, "Because my son's allergic to cats, so we don't have cats in the house." Does that make sense? We don't have animals that have long hair because my son's allergic. And so that's where I kind of stopped that point, because I've always wanted and always liked animals just in general, but cats smell like craziness. And somebody's like, well, if you take care of the litter box, people will never know that the cats are in the house. But I was like, no, it comes with other things that you don't realize. You got to take care, feed. You have to make sure it's got its shots. If it's an outside cat, it's an outside cat. Like, what's the point of having a cat in general if it's just outside all freaking day? You see what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I have 4 neighborhood cats. When I first moved in, there was a whole litter of cats outside of my house waiting for me to take them in. And I was like, nah, y'all can go find somewhere else to live. And that's how we ended that relationship. You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm very strong willed about things like that. When I say it, that's it. Like, you don't get no maybe and blah, blah, blah. No, that is done. Is done, like right then and there. And some people don't like that either. When I'm strong willed like that, they don't like stuff like that. They're like, why are you? I'm like, that's just me. Like, if I don't want you to put your feet up on my couch, then that's how it's going to be. I don't care how comfortable you think you should be in my house. If I don't want you to put your feet up, then that's what it's going to be. And I'll say something like that as an example, and then they'll use that for the next experience and be like, oh, I remember he said he don't like when people put their feet up on the couch. I was like, man, I'm just using that shit as an example. Like, I love cats. Like, I would get a cat. I would 100% love experiencing what it would be like to be a cat owner or whatever, a friend or however you see it. But yeah, I would absolutely love to get a cat. But what I really want is I want a large cat. I want something that is not like a house cat. I want something I'm gonna spend like 2 grand on, you know what I'm saying? And he gonna be the size of a dog, and we're gonna be best friends forever because I'm gonna walk this thing you know, till I feel like he like, you know what, I know this neighborhood, like let me off the leash type, and I'm gonna go walk myself. You know what I mean? Like that's the companionship that we're gonna have because that's the experience that I said that I want and I need, out of a cat. Like the cat not gonna just be sitting in my smelling up everything and producing, all types of. So yeah, that's what I said I was gonna do. That was a long-winded answer too. But yeah, I would love to own cats. A cat, not multiple, a cat. Yep. Because I swear, everybody that came to the house was like, "Well, do you have cats?" I'm like, "No, no." It's like a metaphor. It's not a realistic thing. I mean, like I said, everything is opportunity, possibilities, and stuff like that. But no, I'm good. I'm good. Let me see what else. Do I want to go on tour with my album? I thought of it. And I was like, I think what I want to do is I want to lease my songs out to people, to companies that will pay for my songs because I think that's how I see it. I'd never thought of myself getting on stage every night and performing. I just never thought about making money that way or obtaining a fandomship because it's like you have SoundCloud people, you have these people who've already designed, how to do things without, going out there and, eating, um, what does they call it? Eating road food for the next 6 months. I just never thought about it like that. And yeah, yep, yep. Let me see what else. But I do want to make. Okay, so do I want to make music videos with my songs? Yes, I plan on in the next month or so. Let me see, because it's going to be a busy month in June. I think July I will start making the music videos. Like my first produced in July. My very first real like music video will be produced then. So you guys can check that out when that's available. Yep. Yep. I think it's like right here too. Let me see. What else? What else? What else? What else? What kind of food do no? That's stupid. Um I don't know. I'm trying to think of something else to say or to ask myself. Somebody did offer me. They make these like little slushy machines where you just put the juice in and make slushies. I want to do that. I want to do something like that. I think that would be something fun to do as well because the summer's coming, and I was like, yeah, that would be something for my parties. So I think I want to get one of those machines that make slushies. And I have a 3D printer. Before I left my old apartment, I broke it. I broke the little screen on it, and I haven't been able to use it. And that was going to be my moneymaker. I was just going to print things that people are going to buy on my website. Whatever I came up with. I broke it. It's broken, and so the little LED screen, whatever the heck it is, so you can type in, what you want to print and stuff, is broken. So yeah, I think that would be something fun to do for the summer because I saw a friend of mine. They had one of those, and I was like, damn, I could just borrow it at this point. And I was like, you know what? Forget borrowing it. I was gonna just buy one, and that would be a luxury that I'll have in the house. And yeah, it'd be something cool for my guests. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, that was the straightest line I've ever seen. Um, there's like this thing here. There's brown here. Take this tape off. Y'all can't see a daggone thing I'm painting in front of me either. Damn, that's a straight line too. Let me see what else. What else? What else? What else? I'm not taking that off. Why are you taking that one off? Um, That's got paint on it. I think I might just go all the way through without taking a break, so I can get this done. Yeah, so I thought of something the other day. I had Fortnite. Fortnite was like my biggest drive, and I thought it was interesting because I had somebody tell me something that was, like we always need encouragement to keep going. So I was making maps for Fortnite. Yes, I was making maps for Fortnite, and I was enjoying what I was doing. But it was like I felt like I still had to do the same thing for YouTube. Like I had to buy what's the word? I had to promote it. And I was like, damn, this is like YouTube. Like you just gotta promote all day, every day, just promote nonstop all day, every day. And I got exhausted from not from making the maps, but like finding new people to purchase my or go and play my games on Fortnite, my maps. But I thought it was funny because somebody always tell me, it's like, if you making money, why you, right? Why would you ever stop doing something if you're making money off of it? I said it was so much that I was doing at the same exact time. I just got I got overwhelmed. That's what it was. I was just so overwhelmed with making the maps, updating the game because you got to update the map for the game, and it was just so much. And I'm like, half of the stuff I'm just doing by myself. I enjoy doing stuff by myself. I really got to do this by myself in order to make these millions that everybody else is collecting for Fortnite maps. Oh man, that sounds so difficult, doesn't it? It sounds so difficult. But like I said, I needed a team. I needed more people. And sometimes I don't know how to focus on one thing. And so I was like, you know what? I'll come back to it. My son took a break from school. No, my son went back to school, and I kind of just lost traction because it was just me and him, talking about the maps and stuff like that. And just like I said, you really do in this life be successful by yourself, but you really do need another person that's going to join and take some of that heavy lifting off of your back. And honestly, I don't have anybody who, in my life right now who I would think would be um, somebody that would enjoy what I do. It's so weird to say that out loud too. But like everybody has their own niche and their own specialty, their own job schedules and stuff like that. People don't have time to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take all day and just go. And sometimes I just didn't get it as often as I wanted to. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave this alone. And that's what I did. My friends broke up when we were playing Fortnite, and I was like, Fortnite is because I have friends, because we're gaming, we're in leagues, and we're doing competitions and things like that. And it made me sad because I was like, I was getting frustrated at not having them help me out with the maps. Let's just run this map. They would be bored with it because they wanted shooting or they wanted something else, which I understand that. But the map's a maze. So the goal is like you have prop hunts. Prop hunts is another maze, not maze, but it's like a search and rest. It's like a search, and then you shoot the player when you think you found them. You shoot the prop, and and then the game's over. So I couldn't figure out what to add, because I didn't want everybody to kill each other. I wanted them to just go through the map, because then it would. Well, I guess that wouldn't have been a bad idea either. But that's what they said. They wanted guns in the map, and I just could not figure out how to get. Saying it right now, I could have just allowed the players to fight each other till they got to the end of the map. And damn, that could have been something too. Okay, well, there goes your answer. 3 months, 3 years, 46 days later. Sorry, I'm really going through it today, huh? It's really going through it. And this is a different color. I'm sorry. I have like 4 different colors I'm playing with right now. It sounds like somebody's here. Damn, I hate that. No, I don't hate that. I just, why didn't I think of that before? Just allow them to, anyway. But yeah, so I used to make maps for Fortnite. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun experience. It really was a fun ass experience. I would have enjoyed making maps for Roblox too. Yep, that'd have been something I could. But that's what I was really into. I was really into editing. I really, 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 really enjoy editing. I was good at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still good at it. Um, yep. 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 So that wall, there's a line right there. Um, I actually just reuse this one again. I'll just make them. Actually, just use another piece of tape, my friend. So yeah, so let me see. What else do I do? The house shoes. I like the house shoes. I'm just not sure if they're strong enough to keep going, but I made a bunch of them. So when the next time I do a venue, they'll be available. And I'm not taking no for an answer. So if you want some house shoes, because somebody was like, oh, well, why don't you make the bear paw print house shoes? And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. It's like, why don't you help me make that? Why don't you help me do that so I can make that what you think it should be? And then I'll just make like paw print house shoes. Yep. Why not? Since everybody like them. I was like, it's not my design, but easy enough. I could just take that and make it mine, and nobody would ever know that I stole or I took an idea that already exists and just made it into, you know, my own idea. We'll see. Then it's like, damn, I got to promote that shit too. How you gonna do that? Editing, gene editing. What else? Woo. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I think I'm almost done too. Maybe I should play games, not like video games or anything like that, or console games. I get them video games, like console games. Maybe just like something that structures to keep everybody's attention. Man, I'm really trying to think if I'm a boring ass. Oh shit, that just popped in my head, and I was like, "Am I boring? I could be really boring. I could be." Then I just compare myself to other people, and I'm like, "Nah, I'm just a little spicy, a little spicy." I was about to say hot dog, but that doesn't sound good either. Ha! You're a little spicy hot dog, spicy ass hot dog. Maybe I need to like up who I am rather than downplay what what I'm not. And once again, it's all about the experience. So if I experience myself this way, then maybe that's what I need to do. I need to up my wait, no, I need to level up. Level up, level up, level up. Maybe that's what I need to do. Painting is a niche that my entire Instagram is focused on. Everybody freaking paints. This dude was spray painting these circles, and then so he laid the little circles, like I guess if they look like this, he laid them down, a bunch of them on the flat surface, and this direction he sprayed it yellow, and in this direction he sprayed it green, and in this direction he sprayed it. So when it came up, like when you turn the whole entire piece, it looks like the colors are shifting, and I like that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna steal your idea, bro. And so where was I going with that? I have no idea. I just lost the train of thought on that one. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I mean, it was an idea, but it's definitely gone. It's gone. It's gone. For real? You're really gonna peel the tape off? I mean, peel the paint off for real? So yeah, next time that I do this, if I have to paint on a wall like this, we using green tape. We not using blue tape for shit. And I'm just gonna say that because this tape will peel off anything it's attached to rather than just no bueno. No bueno. Oh, do I want to learn another language? Yes, I want to learn another language. Actually, I want to learn two languages, like Spanish and like Japanese or French or something, 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 something like that. I think that would be bueno. Sorry, this little panel here on the left hand side, that tape just peeled off all the paint. So I'm just gonna paint over top. And what time is it? Oh shoot, it's 12 o'clock. Damn, this is a lot of work, boy. This is a whole lot of work. Let me see what else. I wanted to do the podcast with my son because I thought those were cool, but for the sure when we're gonna do that, um, or if we're just gonna bring it back because I really did enjoy talking to him, having like conversations. We wake up early in the morning and just, just talk about what we felt for the day, or maybe something happened yesterday and we just conversate about it. When, I don't know, but I think that would be something fun that we could start up again. Not just for numbers or just because it's healthy. Um, And it was a time, it was a moment, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure if that moment is gone. And so I would have to, I would have to find out in the podcast, and then we just pick up where we left off. He's a whole different person. Some things have changed about him, and maybe we can talk about it because he's experiencing something that I don't understand either. He's got some skin issues, and like I said, he's a whole different person. Not saying that we need to bring it up, during conversation, but he's a whole different person. And he's 11 now, and he's about to go back to school. He's about to go to school because he was in online school. And yeah, so some of those things might be, worth talking about because it's different for me too. I mean, I'm a father, and I have to respect the fact that times have changed. Nothing is the same as when I was in school. So, how we interact with people, I'm not saying it is really different, but it's different for him, I'm sure. Because at this point, he's not used to it. So he has to get adapted to whatever that function will be for him in the end and for the rest of his life, because he'll be in school until he graduates. And that's all she wrote. Yep. That is all she wrote. Let me see what else. What else? What else? What else? Oh, maybe I can just tell you about myself then. I am originally from New Jersey. I was born and raised in Neptune and Asbury Park, New Jersey. And I grew up in a time where everything was like really open. People were so open to doing things. Technology was different. Games and how we communicated was different. And I grew up by the beach, so I saw a lot of things that people at my age were just, it was like great times. I mean, I saw things that I can't talk about because, um, times have changed, and there's no point in bringing up old stuff. But I really enjoyed my childhood. I really enjoyed being as close as I was to the water. We went fishing. We went to the beach all the time. Ice cream was different. And how I grew up was different because I grew up with kids that were not the same color as me. All my friends were white. Just I say it like that. All my friends were white. I had family. I grew up with family, and they were all native. They all looked just like me. You know what I'm saying? But it taught me something. It taught me respect for those who identify themselves as this. And just on the other side is what they call the other side of the tracks. My family lives, because we all lived in separate boroughs or whatever the heck you wanted to call them at that point in time. And so, like, when I got to see them, it was exciting. I got to see all my cousins all the time. But my friends never got to really see my cousins. You know what I'm saying? So there was a different way of perceiving, um, and I didn't understand it, but I had to respect that that's how it worked. And we played different, and we had festivals, but it was like a community thing. It was a tribe mentality for a very long time. So I enjoyed that aspect of our my upbringing. Let me see. I guess that's the most of it though. Yeah, that was the the heaviest part was that my friends never hung out with my tribe. And do I regret that? A little bit, because I didn't understand and nobody helped me understand it because I never really asked. We just never associated. And still to this day, I still find that, white people and natives and African Americans, however you say it, we just never hung out together. And still to this day, I still relationships as thick as I should. And so I frown upon that. And, for the life of me, I still don't understand, why we separate ourselves, whatever, whatever, whatever. But that's how I grew up. And I had to respect that's how everything worked. And yeah. Damn, I'm just painting inside this box and it's driving me insane how much surface area it is. Let me see, what else did I do? I mean, I worked for white people when we were at the beach. So, I had such freedom, just go do whatever I wanted to. And one day a white guy was like, "Hey, you want to earn some money?" And I'm thinking in my head, I know what money is, but how does he want me to earn this money? You see what I'm saying? And so he was like, "Yeah, help me sell these bikes. All you got to do is when somebody wants one, you tell them how much it is, you set the bike up for them, you take it to them, and then they're gonna give you money. You give me the money, and then the transaction is good. You tell them how long they can hold the bike for, when they got to bring it back. It wasn't like it is today where everything is digital and you just scan it and keep it moving. It was like a real physical interaction with people that I don't know. And this is what I did for, a summer or two. And I told my mom, this is what this guy wanted me to do. And she was like, all right, well, there's nothing wrong with that. And she was like, what's the guy's name? What does he look like? Did he give you money, up front? All of this stuff. And, that's how I interacted with people who weren't my same color. Real shit. That's how I interacted. And it was a good thing because, just like I said, never took me too long to understand what the differences were. But I understood what it took in order to be a part of something that I didn't understand. Now, granted, now you look at what I just said. Now, the neighborhood that I grew up in was a Jewish community. That's what it was. And so most of the people that I was catering to were Jewish people. I didn't know that. I had no idea. And so it's interesting because, when you find yourself in aspects like this, like I said, it's frowned on because our community of people don't fraternize, and that's the word. We don't fraternize with other people who are not who we say we are. And so a lot of that was frowned on because a lot of people didn't interact. They just didn't want to, they didn't have to, because we were all different. We all came up different. And I'm still sad to this day. Like, it really makes me sad that that's how we made things possible. Was we had to ask permission, like, not me, but you know, our community of people, you had to ask permission, you know. Still to this day, you still got to ask permission if you want to be a part of something like that. And the same thing with us. You got to ask permission if you want to join who we are. Simple as that. And I grew up understanding and knowing that. And like I said, I'm not mad about it because it helped me create vocabulary, helped me create conversation with people about things that I was interested in. And I'll never forget, those days and those experiences because shit, that's who I am right now. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm the greatest because I never said no when it came down to, when it came down to situations like that, because I knew that there was something that I could get out of it and I was going to go for it. And then nothing was going to stop me. I don't care. Like, what you talking about? Like, this dude cool. Like, he going to give me some money because, and that's just how I looked at it. I'm going to be a part of something that others didn't do because their family and friends was afraid or, you know, like, oh, you can't work for the white man and blah blah, whatever and however. And that's what I grew up on. And a lot of those people that I grew up in those neighborhoods, they never maintained, they never figured out how to make it out of those situations on the other side of the tracks. They always just stayed there, you know. And I think that's an incredible experience. You know, how we as a collective made something possible, because, you know, but it's like I said, today I don't have conversations with, I'm not saying I don't have conversations, that's weird. I don't have, you know, I just don't have the same interaction like I thought I wanted to, because, you know, people, they always want to say it's their fault and this is the reason why we're going through this. And I'm like, a lot of times it's not anybody's fault. It's a product of our environment. This is what we tell ourselves is not possible, and then that's what we seek forever. It's not what happens forever, that's just what we're seeking. And so I was like, no, I can't be a part of stuff like that. So I chose to go down a different pathway. That's where I'm at right now. And I enjoy everybody. Black, blue, orange, purple, green, burnt sienna, chartreuse, you know, whatever color you decide that you want to refer to, because we all exist at the same exact time. Tomorrow's not going to be different. Like, oh, it's just going to be us. We're all still just going to manage to be together on this circle or square or triangle of a planet that we live on. And that's just what it's going to be. You can like it or love it, but that's just how it's always going to be. So just like I'm saying, I grew up, and my brothers grew up different. They grew up in a different neighborhood. They grew up in something that wasn't even close to what I was experiencing. So they grew up with this mentality and this mindset. And guess what that took them? It took from them rather than giving them an opportunity to be something that everybody wanted to be. Just wanted to be equal. Yep. Like I said, I still get like slack for associating. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't get that, man. Yeah, that's my childhood though. I grew up in a predominantly white school. Just like I said, I had fun. I'm enjoying out with kids that want to play, you know what I'm saying? Like want to enjoy life. And that's what I remember. And I still have friends. Crazy. I have a friend, her name is Gracie. I have a friend named Kyle. I have a friend named Eric. And I only socialize with one of them now. I did socialize with Kyle for a very long time. And then, you know, nothing was developing. And so we all just split up. But Gracie, one of my one of my social, we don't speak as often, but we still know we're still alive, which is a part of something. And she was, I want to say, she's, oh man, I don't want to say it. I'm not going to say what her background is, but I realized that she was not the same. She had a different background. She looked different. And I was like, dang, you could be part of my tribe. Like, you really look like me, but you're just very, very light. So her parents were very, very light, but they all looked like they could be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a weird, and I never asked the questions because it wasn't necessary. You see what I'm saying? I just never took it there. I was like, oh yeah, well, you're this, so that means you should be, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm sure that made a difference in how she grew up as well, because one, she's a female, and two, she grew up in an environment where, she didn't even identify with everybody the same. How can you identify with people who are not the same color or not doing the same exact actions and things like that? So it's wild, man. I grew up in a whole different plethora of things that made me who I am today. A whole plethora of experiences that were good, a whole plethora of things that I would never trade for gold, because it wasn't available. Gold wasn't available when I was growing up, so I couldn't trade that for anything. You know what I'm saying? I would trade it for some candy or, you know, a conversation or some games or something like that, but I couldn't trade it for gold. I couldn't. Yeah, I really couldn't just. I think this is gray. It's like a gray red. What time is it? Oh, it's 12 o'clock. I'm going to have to get up out of here. I don't know if I want to take a break, but I just need to go do something for a little bit of time. I've been streaming for like 2 hours as it is. I said I wasn't going to take a break, but this can wait. Like I said, I'm gonna get this done. I said Thursday I'm gonna get this done, but I'm being optimistic, right? Because I still have to add so many details, go back in here, add the colors and highlights and things like that. But this was a great conversation. I appreciate you guys being here as well, like listening in on my life story. Let me see. I've traveled to different countries. Like I said, I want to go back to like the other side of the world because it made me feel so good being somewhere that I didn't feel like an out or we had to negotiate on who we could hang out with and stuff like that. Because I mean, it's not the same today everywhere, but I still find it where I live right now, we don't hang out with those type of people. You know what I'm saying? It's like so weird. Now I know a few people because they work with other people and that's just how it goes, but the fact that I still want to hang out with the people that I say I like and I want to be a part of, but I also want to be a part of something that I don't feel like I'm weird, you know, like because if one more person tell me that I'm weird, I'm sure we're not going to have, you know, because I'm not weird. I don't think I'm weird. I just grew up in a different time period. That's it. And I still follow and cater to what my tribe has told me because that's what they said worked. And so that's what we've been doing for 1,000 years at this point. And we don't mix outside of our. Did I paint above that? Why did I do that? Oh, it is supposed to be like that. But we don't mix outside of our. And when we do, we see it. We see what happens when you mix outside of. And I said, I get that. Everybody's different. Everybody's acceptance level is different. And I said, there's reasons. You know what I'm saying? There's real reasons. People are fucking crazy, man. Like crazy ass people out there. They will do random stuff just because they feel like they're obligated or, you know, their value is different. And, you know, and that's what's fair. And I said, that's what's fair. Yeah, that's some fair stuff right there. It sure is. And I said, I don't think that's ever going to change. That's something that's never, ever going to change. Because as long as you have two people who disagree, it's always going to be different. And I can't argue with people who do not listen. Just don't. It makes no sense to argue with stupid. Because stupid is as stupid does. You know? You know? Yo, I really have been painting inside this square for 2 hours. What the heck, bro? I really feel like I could have just been painting the items, but, you know, all of the spaces. But whatever this is, it's not a real physical. It's like a collective of colors that there's solid colors with squares. Sorry, I'm just jumping around with that. But so interesting enough. So when I traveled to Italy, this couple, I had met them somewhere, somehow, and they was like, do you want to come and eat at our house? I wasn't even fearful. I thought this was some normal type shit. You want me to come to your house and eat? I was like, do I have to bring anything? No, just come. Just bring your, bring your appetite. I sat down with like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. There was like 9 people that I never met in my entire life, and they were so open to me being there that I remember that like it was yesterday. Like I could get up and just go have a seat with them right now. That's how I felt, and that's how I experienced that moment. Oops. Okay, well I guess it's my time to stop because I just ripped that. But yeah, it was something. It was something else that I didn't know was possible. You know, and it made me feel really good about who people can really be in this life and who people choose not to be. You know, I went to Italy. It was the best experience I've ever had in my entire life. I was like, no, I need to go back. And so I booked another flight and I went back for another year. And it changed my entire life. And like I said, it really opened me like to seeing what it takes to be a unity. Because I was like, I didn't know it happened, and this is something that other people do too. I just didn't know that until I went to another country. Now, could I say that's what it's like now? Probably not. People are probably way different than they were, 15, 20 years ago at this point, because that's about as how long has it been since I've been to that part of the world. And I said I want to travel and feel like that more often because this is what life is about. Life is about exploring and getting to know people that truly have something of value, that they offer as a community of people. And I haven't really found that in the US. I really haven't. And once I just said like a few of my family members have passed away, so more or less of us we're not the same. We don't have the same organization as what we used to because we're dying off. And once again, we're dating outside of our tribe, which means that we're not finding identical values and traditions anymore. I'm adding values and traditions that other people don't or do have. And that's just what it comes down to. So, I want to find something of my own. I want to be a part of something that makes sense because what I'm losing is that connection with real people. And they're like, yeah, we all do the same thing and blah 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 blah. But I'm like, no, it's not. Like, if you offer me something, that's a gift. I don't get gifts from people outside of my tribe. I don't get a single freaking thing. They're like, oh well, I gave you my time, I spent time with you. And I'm like, no, that don't make any sense. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you have enough energy to go to the store and talk to 20 people before you get home. That's how you spend your time, but you didn't give them anything. You didn't physically give them anything because that is what we're supposed to do. When you first meet people, when you first come to their house, you give them stuff. People don't come to, places and be like, oh, well, I was just hoping that you were going to feed me and that's it. Like, if they say that that's how it's supposed to be, then that's how it's supposed to be. But I don't get none of that. I go to people's houses and I don't get that. I bring something. Yeah, I brought you this. And they're like, oh, that's so nice. But I don't get that when it's more like, what are you going to give me? Because I'm at your house. But I'm at your house. Like, what are you going to give me? And I'm like, yeah, that part right there. All right. So I think I am going to take a break because I've been talking. My throat is drier than 2 pieces of toilet paper stuck together. Oh, and I'm going to put some food in my stomach. God damn. You said bunch of psycho killers. Yeah, that part, man. Oh my gosh. I had been streaming for 2 hours, but look how well this is coming out though. You see I'm boxing and everything. Wait, could y'all see that corner? I'm laying this thing down, man. psycho killers. Yeah, that's what they call themselves, and they say it out loud, and they'll tell you that they don't have no regrets and blah blah blah. Omizu, that's what they saying, man. Let me put this down a little bit, because yeah, that's and so that's what that's what my tribe protected us from those type of people, and they really still do exist, and that's that's how we stayed alive for as long as we could, but death comes for us all, and you know like when it's your time, guess what? You either stand in line or get pulled in line. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But I thank you guys for watching for this part 12 of this experience. And let me move this stuff out of the way and see what it looks like without all of these shenanigans. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Let's go. Like I said, I mean, most of whatever's inside here, my phone is like, hold on, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And it's a real picture, but my phone's got paint and stuff on it. But you see like the interior of it's really hazy, like it's not all there yet. So I think I'm just gonna keep everything as dark as possible because there's nobody sitting in there. The customer asked for no people to be inside or outside of the vehicles and stuff like that. So it's just an empty space. And yeah, that's what it looks like. So I'm trying to live that through this right here. I'm gonna add the burgers and shakes. They said that was okay. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. You said looking good. Appreciate that, Omizu. Thank you, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much. You said have a good day, Rain. I think I might be back. I'm not really sure how this afternoon is gonna go, but I'm trying to stay positive because like I said, I had two family members pass now. One passed on Saturday, and I got the news on Monday, and then this past Sunday that came up, another family member passed away. So yeah, it's been a lot, man. It really has. And yeah, I'm just, I'm taking it one day at a time, and just believing that everything is going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? So they said it always happens in threes, and I'm hoping that nobody else has to take that next number. So you said thanks for the stream. Absolutely, this is what I'm here for, man. I like to talk, and I appreciate everybody listening in, because this is real. I'm a real person. I'm not here just to entertain and tell you fabulous things. I'm here to show you exactly what being real looks like. So yeah, you said yes sir, be positive because you're full of life. Let's go. I like that. I am full of life. I'm full of great energy too. Thank you so much, Dondrell. You said my condolences to you and your family. Thank you so much, and I will pass that along too as well. We'll take all of that great energy, and we'll keep it going. Yo, this looks really good. I just realized that this really looks like the bottom of the ground is wet. So I'm doing my shit like for real. I just stand back and I'm looking at it like it really looks like water down there. Oh shit! Let's go. Appreciate the high five. Appreciate the heart, Dondrell. Thank you so much, y'all. And yeah, I might be back. I might be back. It's been 2.5 hours. I said I still got until Thursday, and I'm gonna keep this blazing. But thank you guys for joining me. You said, dude, are you kidding me? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You said the population is on paper. Yo, I swear, I'm gonna tell you this shit real quick. Every person that I ever meet in my life, I ask them if they draw. And normally they say yes. I've drawn when I was a kid. Like, why you stop? And they're like, oh, because I never really, never really got this. And I was like, because somebody else never kept you going. That's why you stopped. It's like if you start up right now and tell more people, I said right now they'll give you the support that you say you need to keep going. I promise you. I put that on everything because I have it, and I said it's out there. It's available. Like it really is. It's available for all of us. So let's go, man. Let's go. I'm looking at that, and it really does look like there's water down here too, man. Like I'm fucking loving it, man. You say you're creating on the wall? I am. I really am creating on the wall, but it looks so good though. Ooh, I like that. You said go, 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 go. Exactly, because you did it. I did. Thank you guys for the support today too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's go. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. I really will. Let's go.